Alright, welcome to another quick review. Today we are talking about Alan Wake 2. Now, this is not my first Remedy game that I've ever played. I beat Alan Wake Remastered for the first time last month in early December, and I just didn't post about it. Um, I've played and beat Control, did that back in 2024, and I tried Quantum Break even before that, but dropped it because I wasn't really enjoying myself all that much, and the checkpoint system kind of sucked. So this is not my first Remedy rodeo. And let me just say this. I am so sorry for sleeping on this game when it came out in 2023, when it was nominated for all of those awards at the Game Awards. I am so sorry for sleeping on this game because I am happy to say that this is an all-timer video game. Alan Wake 2 is a phenomenal video game. And I think a lot of that has to do with its story and how unique it is. I love how each story between both Alan and Saga how they intertwine. It creates a very interesting, intriguing mystery regarding the timeline and what's actually going on in relation to the first game, and the payoff for which is extremely satisfying once you put it all together, and then it kind of flips that on its head again towards the end, a couple hours later, and I just love it. It doesn't make sense, but it makes perfect sense at the same time. It's amazing. The gameplay itself is fun and stressful, which I absolutely adore. It takes all the best parts of Alan Wake 1, mixes it with some other survival horror games, and creates a great gameplay system that is awesome to play, awesome to use. Just all around a really good gameplay system and a pretty good gameplay loop. Uh, this is probably one of the most beautiful games I've ever played. One of the best looking games I've played. Is truthfully beautiful throughout the entirety of the runtime. And the way that Remedy takes this art style and as well as mixes surrealism and horror together is just masterful. And so because of that, the game has to look good, has to run good, and I really appreciate that it does, because genuinely I found myself being like, oh my goodness, this game is beautiful, at multiple occasions throughout my playthrough. I've been kind of getting into horror recently, and over the last couple of months, and of the horror games that I've played so far, which is not many, is not many. Um, of the horror games that I've played, this is the one that I think that's probably genuinely scared me the most. Like I said, I'm a coward when it comes to this stuff. I've been trying to get better, so don't take that with a grain of salt. One of the reasons why is the music. It's amazing. It's great music, whether it be the original soundtrack um, or all the other songs that are mixed in throughout, lyrics and all and whatnot. The music is mixed with this dark and creepy atmosphere, almost too dark at times. It is kind of hard to see depending on when you're playing. But this dark and creepy atmosphere, the sound design involving environments and enemies, particularly in Alan's side. Some of those enemies in Alan's side, when they're like, saying Wake or Alan Wake all the time, and you hear whispers and whatnot, it is very off putting. It is nerve wracking at times to go through Alan's story, just because you have to deal with that. Alan's story as a whole is a lot. Alan's story, I think, has scared me the most. There are certain sections of Saga's story that I was like, okay, this is not fun. I'm not saying that, like, in regards to the game being scary. I'm like, I am very scared right now. But Alan's story the entire way was like, okay, this is a lot. All right. And I think because of that sound design, it made me scared throughout the entirety of the game, and I love that. I think that was awesome. Um, because I want to kind of go to a little bit of negatives, but none of these are like, anything that brings down my experience. If anything, one of these negatives actually is a positive in disguise. Because you move so slow, which is a big thing for me, I found myself like, oh my goodness, could we run a bit faster? But because you move so slow, and the map makes the world look huge, which isn't actually the case. Because the map is so scaled up in a sense, you end up getting to places way faster than you expected, which actually, I'll say is kind of a negative that turns into a positive. It actually makes exploration fun. You get to things quick. It makes backtracking actually relatively easy. And if I didn't have to go out of my, even if I didn't go out of my way to get absolutely everything, got all the weapons though. But even if I didn't go out of my way to get absolutely everything, I still had a lot of fun with exploration and backtracking because the map misleads you and doesn't really take long to get places. My other criticism has to do with the puzzles and challenges of the game, specifically the puzzles in Alan's story. But I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that I am stupid and cannot solve a puzzle to save my life in and outside of video games. I remember playing Indiana Jones. I was playing Metroid last month. I was playing a couple of JRPGs this past year. Made me realize, oh yeah, I am an idiot when it comes to this stuff. So I can't solve a puzzle to save my life. So that all doesn't take away from the game at all. I know myself well enough to know the difference between a game issue and a me issue. Next thing, Herald of Darkness section, generational section. I don't know what to tell you. And then my last thing, the biggest compliment that I could give to Alan Wake 2 is that the game inspires me. The game makes me want to eventually approach a story like this one, whether it be because of its story structure, mixing together different genres, the compelling and intriguing characters, or the lore built up around it. Alan Wake 2 is a game that I want to take inspiration from and apply it to my own writing, to my own stories. It's unique, and I haven't seen something like this done in most other video games, while also not sacrificing the overall story being told just for the sake of being different. It tells a good story and is unique in the process. It does something different in the process, and that's the type of thing that I would love to bring to my own stories, if possible, or not if possible, when possible, because I really think that I can. I want to give it a good shot. So yeah, Alan Wake 2, peak. It's great. I give it a 10 out of 10. Genuinely, this game is amazing. I'm recording this before I do the Night Springs and Lake House expansion that I'm going to play over the next 2 days or so. Specifically just because I wanted my review to reflect how I felt about the main game. Whether the expansions are good or bad, it doesn't really matter to me. I just wanted to talk about this one experience. It could make the expansions could make the game better, it could make the game worse, but ultimately this main game experience is what I wanted to talk about today, when I wanted to make the review on, to not, so I didn't have it clouding my judgment. So yeah, thank you for watching. I would highly recommend you go play this game. See ya. Bye.